My name is Cinnamon Juice. No, it's not. It's Tone. And I'm here to talk about a topic that is, I don't know, it's on everybody's mind now. Marriage is a big deal now because of the percentage of people who choose to get married are leaving these marriages. And a lot of it is because of infidelity. The majority of time, the person that usually leaves is the woman. And they're finding out that a lot of times the woman gets bored and, commits adultery and infidelity. And we already know that the man has the stigma on his head. Most people think, the man is doing this. Well, come to find out, nowadays, everything is on its head. The man's not doing it as much as the woman. Everything is topsy-turvy. The woman is the infidel the majority of the time in these cases, and people are trying to figure out why. What happened? Now we can go down that road and say it's because of feminism. The whole Me Too movement, or we can blame it on the burning bra movement that started in the 80s and come right up to the Me Too movement, and we can blame all of these positions that were introduced to modern females and then say, okay, these women bit on this. Well, yeah, it is a type of, you know what the Bible says about sexless marriage? The Bible says, do not deny your partner because you're setting them up for prostitution. Meaning, if a woman tells her man no too many times and the man has a sex drive, he's going to go find it somewhere else. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to find a prostitute, but nonetheless, the same thing applies. He can find your friend, he can find your mother, he can find your daughter, let's just face it. A lot of people who are getting in relationships now have children that are adults. So and recently, a black woman was dating a white dude, and the white dude cheated on the black woman, so the woman went ahead and married his father. So let's not act like both parties are not guilty of something here. Yeah, it tempts you. Yeah, you still have the responsibilities. Exactly. So I was talking to somebody who is twice divorced, and they were talking about, I was asking them what happened in their marriage. And she said, I got bored of my first marriage. Because I was like, why can't you go back to your husband's? She's like, the first one would kill me. I was like, kill you? She was like, yeah, he'd kill me. Because what happened was I got bored. And I went out and started looking for people to, bang me, pretty much. And so that's what happened. And the second one, I forgot what she said about that one, but, I think she cheated on that relationship too. But she was like, I was a cheater. That's just that. So the whole thing that, people have been talking about on the internet, with women going out here and destroying their marriages, look, that is a very real thing. And also the whole thing about, when they do that, then they get older and then they want somebody. That same person I was talking to said the same thing. She was like, now I want somebody. I miss the financial support. I'm lonely. I miss the D. All the things that, all of these platforms we're talking about is going to happen to you women. If you throw your man away, it's happening to this person right now. Every bit of it is happening to her. All of it is coming right to her front door in fruition. It's happening to her right now. She's going through all of those problems. She's going through all of those issues that are often pinpointed in these conversations. She's going through this right now. But the question is, why? Why do you get bored? Why? And this goes to men and women. But why do you get bored and decide, I'm going to keep this ring on my finger, but I'm going to go somewhere and I'm just going to be, the freak of the week. I'm going to be a slut. I'm going to be a hoe for somebody. I'm just going to, male and female, mind you. Why can't you hoe with your wife? Why can't you hoe with your husband? What happens? So one thing she told me, she said, there's one thing about marriage is you get tired. She said, it's the same, regimen every day. You come and she said, you're worn out, But I'm like, you're worn out. The guy is going and doing all this work and it's coming home, he's tired. Okay, fine. He's tired. So he can't give you, he can't satisfy your sexual desires because the man's been working. And then you go out and you're on your knees in front of a stranger. Is that fair to the guy? So the sense of duty, the sense of responsibility has been taken completely out of the marriage. Marriage is no longer a unit trying to move forth in time as one. Marriage is two people trying to scratch an itch for a short amount of time, and whenever that itch gets scratched, they decide to go do things that are outside the marriage. Marriage is not under the umbrella of God. It's under the umbrella of the United States. Marriage is more corporate now than it is spiritual in the eyes of America. But in the eyes of God, it's always spiritual. Marriage is a big, very big thing in God's eyes. One time God promised me that if I don't stop messing with this married woman, that I was going to burn in hell with her. So, we don't mess around. Because I'm afraid of God. And I really love that woman. So my reaction to that was, Lord, don't send me to hell. Can I marry her? And he was like, nah. And I was like, okay, well, I keep messing around with her because she's satisfying something. So can I have somebody that's like her? Now, see, there are people who live in sin and completely ignore God. They do what they want. Even though they know it's an abomination to Christ's laws, they say, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't want to do that because I don't know what I'm going to pass on and then I got to stand before the Lord. But for some reason, back in, my days when I was doing this stuff, married women were the biggest freaks I ever known. It was like they had pent up sexuality. I mean, when I tell you that they were just crazy, they were so crazy, they out-crazied me, and I'm the guy. They would say things to me that made me go, wait, what? I'll be like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I'd go, damn, I don't want to get married. Because if my wife is going to be doing this freaky stuff behind my back, just go on about your way, honey. But the husbands don't know. Sometimes the husband is the culprit, too. Because the husband's doing stuff. One wife, she was a good, dutiful wife, Christian, praying every day, all this stuff, until she had enough of her husband. Her husband was sleeping with prostitutes. And then he would come home, yell at her, and beat her. She finally said, I had enough. She went out and found somebody. She found a couple somebodies, and got it in. got it all off and left old boy. That was it. Because she's like, nah, I'm out. So the duty in marriage is completely gone. It's all, we're lusting after each other. Let's put on, a tuxedo and a wedding dress. Have this huge ceremony that costs crazy dollars. Trap each other in a sexless marriage and, take it from there. And that's not the way it's supposed to go. There are laws that go actually with marriage and how you're supposed to treat each other. And if you don't follow those laws and how you're supposed to treat each other, then your marriage is going to fall apart. But here's the thing. If your marriage falls apart because of something you did, you're still responsible for that spiritually. You're still responsible. And financially you are too. Now, if you two get divorced, you have to understand that you're still one flesh. And the only way that can, you're not one flesh is if one of you dies. That's the facts. That's the ugly truth about marriage. A lot of people are just getting married just to, for a centerpiece. But they're not serious. And a couple years down the line, maybe 2 babies, and you're like, we're finished. You want to live this Hollywood lifestyle. Well, Hollywood is full of lies and creepy people who do not care about God. They have a whole other God that they serve. Hollywood does not, America doesn't even serve, the God of Abraham. They do not. Trust and believe they don't. So if you're following suit with rappers and singers and people of Hollywood who switch husbands and wives like it's, freaking socks, you're following the wrong people. They're going to lead you down a path that is nothing but destruction. So, in light of this, it's easier said than done because there's a lot of bad and hateful feelings that are in marriages nowadays. There are people who scarred each other beyond belief and they can't reconcile just because God says so. They need therapy. They need to go and talk to the preacher. They need to, go on vacation by themselves. They need to go and screw other people and then come back. No, listen, you need to talk to God and figure it out. That's it. If you're still hot and horny and your husband is not giving you the D on a regular, then you two have to figure out how to get that done. And sometimes it's not because he's a bad husband. It's just because a man's tired. You're going to have to find a way to get your body and your spirit in conjunction with the order of the day, which is whatever your husband's doing according to God. And your husband is going to have to find some time to be with you in holy matrimony. He's going to have to do it. God's going to have to make some time so your husband can screw you and get your little weird fantasies out of your head and, do a horizontal bomb all in the name of Jesus. Because you don't want to be one of these people who casually get divorced and then read the word of God and find out that if you don't go back to your husband and you start messing around with another man, you're committing adultery. This is not the news that you want to hear because some of you obliterate your relationship with your partner. You don't cheat on your partner. You completely dissolve any feelings that was there. They're gone. You hate each other to the point where you can't be in the same room and you can barely be in the same state. Some of you are so torn and bitter towards each other that, the police need to separate you. Like you have orders to stay away from each other. That's bad. because you're still horny. You're still going to go find somebody to do it with. And according to the scriptures, you're committing adultery. This is not the way you want to live and die. So this is a warning. Even to myself, I'm not married. I don't have a girlfriend. But I still like looking at a nice ass. I like tits, I'm a guy. That's not going to stop. I like a nice looking woman. I sometimes think about having a wife, but I'm afraid that she's going to be a whole whore out here in the street. I am. I'm afraid she's going to come home with another man's, seed, growing in her stomach. I'm afraid of all these things because I used to do this. But, you can only wake up so many times from dreams of having a family or dreams of being with a woman and not go, I want to Russian roulette it. I want to try it. I want to get out there, but it could cost you, a lot of money, a lot of feelings. It can even cost you your life if you're not careful. But the drive is still there. I'm only in my 50s. People get married up to the 70s, 80s. It doesn't last long, but they do it. Because the need and the desire, the innate desire of companionship really doesn't leave you. You can stow it away for a while, but it'll come back creeping at you. The walls are closing, and you're going to go, you know what? I'm doing all right. I can afford a wife. But do you go, I can afford divorce? 80% of the time, a woman is leaving a man. So do you look at your wallet, your bank account, your whole financial situation, your stocks, your pension, your house, your car, your 401k, and you go, in 2 years, I'm going to give half of this away. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to pay still for the house while another man is banging my wife. And he's going to be younger and better looking than me. And he's going to be playing with my children. And there's not a damn thing I can do about it except OJ this chick. That's it. That's my only reprieve. Do you think that? Now, do you go, hell, at least I get the OJ. I mean, do you do that? Because if you're not thinking this way, then you're not living in modern America. You gotta think. 80% of the time, the woman is out of here. 51% of the time, the woman cheats. This is on record. It's a good chance you're going to be part of that 80%. That woman that you chose, that you spent $20,000 just for the ring. You went into debt for the ring. 20 G's, bang, she wants a ring. There it is. Wedding, another 20, whatever. Spend all this money. It's your house. Now it's her house because you moved her in. So her name goes on it too. 2 years later, she's knocking off the pool boy. And then has the nerve to brag about it. Yeah, I'm knocking them off because you're working all the time. We live in a $400,000 house. You got a nice car. Your kids are good. Everything. I work hard so you can have this. So what? I'm horny. That's your only excuse. I'm horny. He's handsome. He's 21. You're 45. What do you want to do? You want to get divorced, or you want to shut up and let me, get off while you're gone? You're like, I'm going to stuff this chick under, the nearest rock. And I'm going to bury this chick's face in it. But you can't do that either. You can't do that. So you got, it's off the board. But this is the modern woman. This is what you're doing. Walking a house like, I just came from John's house. Yeah, he had me bent over. I loved it. Him and his friends. I'm still wearing it. This is how bold these women are. So you got to think that way. You have to think, is this what I want to go through? Because this is what women are doing. This is what the feminist movement, this is what the women's empowerment movement, they think they can go out and be complete sluts and still get the same respect. You can come home to a man, he's going to go, you were a slut today? Thanks, babe. Because they feminize the man. The man is completely feminine now. He's just a placeholder. He's not really a man. He's just a guy who's bringing home the bacon. It's the way women think. They want this $100,000+ man that isn't really out there. This 1% man, even the average or ugly chick thinks she deserves that guy. And every man should cater to every woman, bullcrap. This old nonsense. Guys, are you willing to give up your 401k just for a couple years of sex maybe once every 2 months? Once every 2 months you get laid. Other than that, I don't feel like it. The sun just came up. The moon doesn't look right. Yellow stars, pink cars, red clovers. You got to think this way, guys, because this is what modern marriage is today. Do you want to go for that? Do you want to indulge? I say it's not worth it. But loneliness calls us, doesn't it? And we can't, see, there's no men's group. We don't have a men's group. We get on the internet and meet once every Sunday, talk about our feelings, sit around, talk about how much porn we watched, who we watched, wishing we could do those things to our spouses. We don't have spouses. There's not a lonely man circuit. Guys don't want to sit around and hash it out with a bunch of guys. No, we're going to go kill something, a rabbit or something, and cook it. We're going to go build something, fix something, fix a car, refrigerator, take 2 pieces of metal and put them together and see what comes of it. That's us working it out. That's our men's group. That's what we're doing. That's the men's group. Whenever you see a guy constantly working on the same piece of crap car he knows isn't going anywhere, guess what? He's sexually frustrated. I'm telling you right now, he's sexually frustrated. But instead of, dealing with things in a more Neanderthal, chaotic way, you got to put that energy into something where you're going to get a good return. We don't have a men's group. We don't like therapy sessions. We're the fixers. We don't think we need to get fixed, even though we do. We can't go crying we don't call up each other and cry to each other. How some of us are friends and ain't spoke to each other in 10 years. But if you ask if we're friends, the answer is absolutely yes. We're friends. Think we're going to call each other? No. We can't get any pussy. And then the pussy you can't get, you don't want. Random chicks are only good for so long. Quality women are hard to find. Hard to find. Do you want to get married, guys? Hoping you found that 20%. Hoping your wife doesn't turn into a strumpet whore. Or do you accept the whoring that is the Sodom and Gomorrah today, which is the American, lifestyle? Do you say, look, listen, this is what I make, this is where I live. You give her your baseball card, it has all your stats on it, she reads it. And then she reads the last couple little things at the end that says you are allowed to be a whore as long as we're married. Just don't bring them over my house. I don't ever want to meet them. Don't bring them around my family. Don't bring them to the cookout. I don't want to know anything about it. But you can be at home and don't bring home any diseases. Don't bring them around my kids. No, nothing. But you can be a complete slut because you already know it's going to happen according to statistics. You think she'll stay with you? The answer is absolutely not. She's still going to leave you. And still be a hoe. And some of you are going, well, guys are doing it too. Yeah, guys are doing it. Here's the thing about guys in court, though. The majority of time, the women wins the house, the car, the pension. She wins that. Now, there are some states where they penalize the female for this. So the female commits adultery. There are some states, if they go to court and the woman tries to get a settlement out of the guy, what'll happen is a lot of women and a lot of females don't know this. It'll be completely reversed. And if you are the person that the woman is cheating with, the man can turn around and sue you. And a lot of guys don't know that. Because guys love to stick their winky in something that don't belong to them. As a matter of fact, it's better it belongs to you. This is your problem. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. Only thing is, if that woman doesn't keep banging her husband and she gets attached to you, guess what she's going to do? She's going to go home and tell her husband how much of a sorry lady he is. That husband's going to say, okay, fine. I have my options. I'm going to go ahead and leave you. He leaves her. She thinks she's got it made until he gets a damn good lawyer. They drag her sorry ass into court, and she says, and then a judge says, you need to leave his house, and you need to pay him, one of the monies that are out there, alimony. You're paying one of the monies, or all of them. And then a woman's jaw drops because she thought, because she was a female, that she was going to win simply because she's a woman. But there are some states that you cannot do this. And you cannot cheat with a wife. And that wife gets rid of her husband. You are liable for that marriage. And there have been some rich people who fell into this, ball players, because ball players will bang anything moving. Well, some of them have been caught up with this very law because they weren't aware of where they were at and the person they was cheating with. They weren't aware, but they knew the person was married, but they got feelings for him and wouldn't leave him alone. So that person was, and a lot of these guys are regular Joe Schmoes who have decent looking wives. Well, they worked for that wife. And that wife was like, I'm going to go with this ball player. And he's like, okay, fine. I'm going to sue you both in court. It's kind of like when you have a baby mama, right? You got a baby mama. You're paying your baby mama so much in child support, right? So say you're paying your baby mama $200 a month in child support. Well, you go and get married. And when you get married, your wife has a good job. Well, that information gets back to your baby mother. Your baby mother turns around and sues both of you. This actually happens. She sues both of you because your income has gone up. She sues you for your income, not for what the baby needs. Simply because you're making more money. That's how child support works. It's according to how much you make, how much you can afford. And as soon as you get a raise, as soon as you get another job, as soon as one of your stocks splits, she can come back and sue you for that. Your stocks are in income. Let that stock go up and split. Listen, if you're a woman, say you're with her for 5-10 years, and she knows that stocks is one of the ways you get money. Not only that, she follows the same stocks that you have. She knows when that stock is going to split. She's watching it just like you are. She has the same platform that you do. She's like, oh, I know. That stock splits, that stock goes up 15% in one day, and you got 20, 30 grand on that one stock, and it just went up 15%. Oh, it's lights out. It's lights out. You just got about 4 or 5 grand off of that one stock. Guess who's going to court? You are. You're going to court because you just got a bonus. I'm just telling you, that's how child support court works. Don't believe me? Look it up. They're really just after the money. They don't care about the child. But so you got to ask yourself, fellas, once again, do you want to get married? You're not going to get married and bang your wife every day. You're not. You're not going to even have the energy to do that. And your wife is going to get tired of you dumping up and down on her. She's going to get tired. She's going to start telling you no. She's going to be like, no, we're not doing the same thing over. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not a slave. And the more you back up off of that ass, the more space you give her, the more she beats you down with whatever's going on with her and her reasons, which can be totally asinine, of not giving you any sex. The more she gets distance, the more she'll be comfortable getting more distance. Until you go in 2, 3, 5, 6 months, no ass. And when you try to get it, she's... And you already know that look on your face. You know, hey, can I get lucky tonight? You try to buy her something big just so you can get some ass, still no ass. Well, she's cheating on you. She's been giving up that ass to somebody else who's a worthless piece of crap. She's cheating on you heavy. You can't come nowhere near the ass in bed. She don't even sleep in your bed anymore, barely. She's just keeping up appearance. She's cheating on you. I heard a story where the one guy found out his wife was cheating on him, and he said, you got to leave my house. And she said, I'm not going anywhere. So he went and grabbed his nickel-9. And he was like, get out of my house. She was gone in an hour. Out of there. And then he won his divorce case because he lived in one of those states where the wife cannot commit adultery and reap the benefits. So there's just some things that you have to think about, guys, because statistics aren't lying to us. We're getting old, our knees and back, know when it's gonna rain. I mean, come on, there's only so much lotion you can use. There's only so much porn you're gonna watch. All that's unnatural. There's only so many times you can go to the swimming pool just to see the neighbor's wife or the neighbor's, college daughter, sophomore in college, stare at her for a couple hours. She's repulsed at your very presence, knowing you're staring at her. You become the creepy guy because you still have desires for a beautiful woman, and she's beautiful, but you're old. You're a creep. You want to have sex, you're creepy. Guys are creepy, they want to have sex. We're creepy. All guys are creepy. You're creepy. How did you get here? Your creepy father? Yeah, you just appeared out of nowhere? Osmosis? How'd your stupid ass get here? I'm creepy. Shut up. You're gonna be old in 15 years. And finished. You know, enjoy freezing them eggs, creepy. That's it. That's it for you. You're white, 35, you're finished. Show me a white 35-year-old woman who's not married, and I'll show you a spinster. She's pissed off. Go ahead. Show me any white 35-year-old that's not married, and she's a pissed off woman. Black people is different from black women, but it still hits them around 40. But white hits them very quick. Asians, we're not even going to go there. They have more pressure on them than any of us. But white, yeah, you're finished at what, 35? You're not. Nobody's interested. Todd's not coming back. He's finished. I'm just saying, guys, what are we going to do? Sexless marriage. Are we going to strap in for that? Who's buying into a sexless marriage? Box of Kleenex and some Jergens. Whenever your wife leaves, she comes back pissed off because you know you've been jacking off to, whatever creepy show you watch. She's mad because she ain't gave you nothing in 6 months. What have you been? That's disgusting. Well, you're my wife and you won't screw me. Now you're disgusting. Now you're disgusting. You got freaking gray balls. You're disgusting. You're a creepy, disgusting guy. Even your wife thinks you're creepy. What are we signing up for? What are we signing up for, guys? Because this is what we got to look forward to. Wouldn't you love some barely 30 debutantes just knock on your door, tits and a smile? Just love that. Just a head full of hair. Freaking gorgeous. All her teeth. Hard to find that. Anyways, your boy Tone. We'll see you next time.